All right, everybody. Happy Monday evening, and welcome back to the AFR Monday Night Double Play Live. First off, I wanted to start off this week by saying thank you to everybody who left comments, both on the channel here and on my Facebook page, for me being away last week. Really appreciated all the well wishes, and I'm happy to say that my mom is doing really well. It was great. I got to see her for a couple days and actually got to bring her home from the hospital. So that was really great, and I appreciated you guys' support while the channel was on a little bit of a hiatus. So welcome here to our show. Tonight I have a couple different topics I wanted to discuss. First up, I wanted to share again the Stratomatic Daily League that's going on, and there's a really interesting league going on that's all the owners are people in the baseball media. So here we'll switch over and show you guys this. So it's the Baseball Daily Media Experts League, and so you'll see over here all the owners. So there's definitely some names there that you'll recognize. Steve Gardner from the USA Today. He's their fantasy editor over there, and he's the current leader right now. John Miller's up there as well. So really interesting league, as I said. They're halfway through their season, so you can check out all the transactions that they've done, how they're doing head to head, etc. And then I just want to show you guys really quick how easy it is to start up a team. So you just go to the Stratomatic site, and it's right down here, and it will just has these 4 steps you'll go through. So you can buy one team, or you can buy a package of teams. So I currently have mine here. You'll name them, and then the first thing you'll do is you'll do your draft. And so you can either go through and you can select players by searching for them here. So say if I wanted to draft Brock Holt, oh, there he is right there. Or you can just have the computer fill it out for you automatically, and you can change how you want if you want to focus on hitting, or if you want to focus on pitching, or somewhere in between. And then it'll just automatically fill out your roster. And then before you go into your league, you'll rank them. And so if there's a player that you want first, you move them up to the top, all the way down for your 25. And then you'll choose what ballpark that you're in. And then that's it, and you're ready to go. And then the last thing you do is you just look for a league that's opened, and down here it'll show you what existing leagues are already out there, how many teams are in it, what special rules that they have, or you can just join an auto league, and that'll just put you into the next available league, or you can even create your own, and then you're off. So, and I'll just show you the Walpole Minutemen team that I did the trial league with that. And so this is what your page will look like when you're in the season. It'll have your standings over here, your lineups and everything that you can edit. But the really neat thing about this is the box scores that come out after each game. And so it gives you like a little blurb on the side here. It tells you what happened in the game, gives you your box scores, and then if you want to, you can even go in through and it'll give you a play-by-play, and then you can even watch as the game unfolds in a play-by-play. And there's actually even a setting you can go in so that it'll hide the scores of your game. So if you want to go in and watch them play-by-play, it doesn't spoil the ending for you, and then you can watch it played out right here. So really interesting league, really interesting way to kind of play fantasy baseball, or to get your fix of Stratomatic baseball. And now this is just the how do they say, it's the Windows version. So there's actually a version. I have a Mac computer, so I can't play. There's a full version where you actually get. You can see the cards. Um, that they look just like the Stratomatic cards in there. So if you guys are on PCs, you can check out that version of the game. But this is pretty interesting. I enjoyed my trial playthrough, and I'm going to start my Cape Cod Lobsters here in a little bit and join a league, and I'll post updates here on the channel as I play through that league, but also definitely will be following that Baseball Media Experts League because that's really fascinating seeing, um, you know, some of the bigger names in the baseball media industry playing at a game like this, and hopefully it brings a lot of attention to the baseball tabletop gaming world. All right, so if you guys want to join in the chat room, if you have any questions for the show, just leave them in the chat box there, and I'll get to them here during the show. No questions yet, so I'll dive into the question of the week, and that's about projects. So if you follow along on my Facebook page, that's over at facebook.com/AFRSteve. If you don't follow there and you want to, I just finished my 2015 Scram season and using the red, white, and blue racing from play.com. And I was going to do a live playthrough of the final race, but unfortunately, as luck would have it, the second to last race, one of the drivers pulled ahead so far that there was nothing that he could do. He could actually, even if he wouldn't have raced in the last race, he still would have won. So I figured that wasn't really going to be an exciting live playthrough for that game. So sometime this summer, I'm going to start the 2016 Scram season, and I'll do a live playthrough of the opening race of that season. And so in the meantime, I'm kind of wondering what I should do next for a project. So I have a lot of games, just like most of us out there, too many games and not enough time to get them all on your table. I haven't done any kind of project with History Maker Baseball at all this year, and this is the first year since the game was released that I haven't had an active project going on my tabletop. So probably going to do something with History Maker Baseball. Let's see, what is it? The Series 3 of the All-Time Franchise Greats just got released for History Maker Baseball. That announcement hasn't gone live yet, but if you go over to the play.com website, you'll see it there, and this has all the teams from the first expansion era of baseball. So here I'll switch over to my desktop, and so you can see all the teams here that are in the Series 3. Got Houston, Kansas City, the Angels, Milwaukee, the Mets, the Padres, the Rangers, and the Washington/Montreal franchise. So I might do maybe something with a all-time franchise great tournament, maybe for a History Maker Baseball project, or I really want to get back into my fictional Baseball America season. I'm actually a year behind on that. I've only got a few games in the 2015 season, so I'd like to get that onto my table. Let's see here. Got our first comment from Mark Russell. Still working on his 1984 Seattle Mariners project. He's 18 games into the season. He's got him going 12-6. That's a pretty good start. What did the 84 Mariners do? Let's see. Now I'm curious what they did. Oh, let's see. They went 74-88 that year. All right, so you're Mark, you're doing a great job with them so far. Let's see. Yeah, that was a tough year. Oh, that was the year that Kansas City won the AL West. Let's see. I'm interested, Mark. What are the other leaders in your league? or what are the leaders in your league right now, and how are you figuring that out? When you get a chance, let me know. And also interested in how the Red Sox are doing that year. I think they had a pretty good team that year. Had the makings of their pennant winning team in '86, of course, but they weren't quite there in '84. All right. Let's see. Any other comments right now? Nothing right now. So, going along with my question of the week and starting projects, I'm curious, how much legwork do you guys usually do before you do a project? Before you dive into a season, do you tend to just get things set up for game one and dive right in, or do you get your box scores set up ahead of time, do a little research on what actually happened that season if you're playing a historical season? One of the things that I find fascinating, especially about baseball, is that every season seems to have its own narrative, its own story, its own history. The 1983 season for History Maker Baseball that was just released. I was only 8 years old when that season came out, so I don't really remember a lot about it. From when I was a kid, but it was kind of neat. You look at everything that happened that year. You had an interesting mix of players that were on their way out. It was Yaz's last season. You had Reggie Jackson, who was just a couple years away from retiring. And then, of course, you had young and upcoming players like Cal Ripken Jr. So one of the great things about baseball is every year you can sort of encapsulate it and look at it like that and see everything that's going on, and then appreciate the history of the game. All right, let's see. Mike Craven's in the comments saying he ordered Red, White, and Blue Racing. All right, awesome. Mike, I'm sure you're going to enjoy that game. I found that Red, White, and Blue Racing, if you're really interested in doing season projects where you're playing out every event that happens, I think that Red, White, and Blue Racing might be the perfect game because you have 32 races. That means it's just 32 times you're getting the game out on the table. Obviously, you run every driver at the same time, so you're playing with every driver from that season. And, before you know it, you've got a season complete. And so this 2015 season that I completed, it was actually the fourth Scram season that I've played through. So that actually, I have to say, is it's climbing its way up to my number one spot on my favorite tabletop board game. Because with baseball, I don't think I will ever play out an entire baseball season with every team. Just playing out with one team would be a major undertaking. And even if you played out a full football season that's only 14 or 16 games, if you did it with every football team, that would be a lot of games on your table. I know that somebody did a season, over on the Delphi forums, they posted, and it took them something like 3 or 4 years to do a full football season playing out every single game. So it definitely can be done, but I started this Scram season. I think I was only 7 races or 6 races into it after I finished my 2015 Football America project, and it took me about, I guess that was a month and a half ago, to get through the rest of the season. So, Mike, I'm sure you're going to enjoy Red, White, and Blue Racing, and looks like you're saying that second season is going to be your next purchase. That's probably the best football game out there, if not one of the best tabletop sports games out there. And actually, that was the game that first brought me to Play.com, was their second season football game. Let's see. What else we got going on here? Mark Russell's talking about his 84 season. Let's see. He's just playing out the Mariner games, not worrying about the rest of the league standings. Okay. That's, I've seen a lot of people do that, and then they just use the real results. They'll just do a single team playthrough of a season. That's definitely an easier way to get through a season than you're just worried about your team. And if I ever did a full season replay, that's probably how I would do it. I would just take one team, play them out there 162 games. Let's see. Bob Hansen said that I should playtest your short track racing rules. Yes, actually, I saw those, Bob, posted on the forums, and they look really interesting. And actually, that might be something that I do to pass some time before I start the 2016 season. Definitely post some results on how your testing's been going. I know Keith even saw those. And maybe that's something that he'll post in the newsletter and post up on the site once you get that finished. Definitely the game engine behind Red, White, and Blue Racing certainly lends itself to a lot of different types of racing, although I don't know if F1 racing would ever work with that engine. But yes, Bob, definitely I will check out your short track racing rules, and I'll let you know my thoughts on those. Let's see here. John McGinnis is here. Welcome, John. He's saying he's looking forward to doing a replay this summer when I have more time. Yes. Let's see. Any suggestions for a season, or are the fake player sets better? Well, I'm definitely I've swung all the way over on I love playing fictional sets. I absolutely love them, and the reason being is that I like the idea that I'm creating history on my tabletop instead of recreating it or creating an alternate version of history. So I'm definitely biased towards fictional sets. Those Baseball America sets are really great. There's, I want to say, 4 seasons out now, so you have a lot of history that you can go through and play them out. But if you had to pick a season, my favorite season still is the 1990 season, and that goes because I was 15 at the time, and there's been a lot of studies done that somebody's age 15 season is what sticks in their mind the most. So definitely, if you have a chance, pick up the 1990 season for History Maker Baseball and play through that. See if you can recreate. I think that still has the record for the most no hitters in a season. 1990, I believe there was 7 of them thrown that year. So let's see. All right, David from Baseball Demos is here. Let's see. He says got the 87 History Maker Baseball season. Oh, and playing the Atlanta Braves. All right, interesting. So the 87 Braves. So that was before they called up any of their big rookies. That was before the chop came into the crowd, I think. So, that's interesting. Okay, now you got me interested. I don't remember what. How were the 87 Braves? Oh, come on now. There we go. They were 69 and 92. Okay. Well, that should be an interesting season to play through. I have to say that I am tempted to do a season replay with a really bad team, just to, I guess, put the History Maker Baseball game engine to the test to see if it could hold my attention through a full season with a really bad team. That definitely looks like it would take the cake. Let's see, who was on that 87 Braves team? Oh, Ken Griffey Sr. was on there. Dale Murphy was still there. Oh, a 42-year-old Greg Nettles. Oh, goodness. Let's see, but they had Jeff Blauser, Ron Gant. Yeah, so that would be an interesting season. Who was their pitchers? I guess Zane Smith was the only guy that hung around for the good years. Oh, and Paul Ossenmacher. Okay. Oh, no, and Glavin was there for 9 games. Okay. Yeah, it's very interesting. Let's see, catching up on the comments here. Yeah, they were bad. I grew up watching them on WTBS. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You seem to I don't know, I guess be able to remember the good times watching teams when you were growing up. So definitely they stick in your mind, and that's one of the great things about our hobby is being able to recreate those memories, right on your tabletop, and maybe you'll be able to guide them to 75 wins over the season. George Alex is here. Welcome, George. He's doing the 2015 Dodgers replay. All right, and they're 27-5 through the first 32 games. That's great. That was a really good team. Definitely a team that could have went all the way. Well, it'll be interesting to see what you do with them. George, let us know what game engine are you using to play out your Dodgers 2015 season. Let's see. Did I miss anybody's comments? Bob Hansen said, "Oh yeah, the '87 Braves. That's when Ted Turner was calling them America's team." Yeah, they. So actually, I think that was about the same year. Maybe it was '88 or '89 that I first got cable in my house. So I grew up in upstate New York in the middle of farmland country, and so we were one of the last people in my county to get cable. So I remember actually had a box that had push buttons on it, and it was connected to the TV. It wasn't a remote control, and that was our first cable. And of course, TBS was one of the channels that we got there. So I watched quite a few Braves games when I grew up. Of course, I was a Cincinnati Reds fan because of my older brother. So it worked out kind of well that I got to see every time the Braves played the Reds. Got to see them on TV. Let's see. Bob saying he watched Cubs game on WGN. And watching the train wreck that was Harry Carey was always fun. Oh, come on. Harry Carey wasn't a train wreck. He's a national treasure that is still missed to this day. And gave Will Ferrell one of his best impersonations, that's for sure. All right. Hey, we're already 20 minutes into the show here. So, and George just chimed in. He's using History Maker Baseball for his 2015 Dodgers season. So always like to hear that. George, let us know how your season turns out. Maybe you can give us a little update next week on the show. See if you keep that great winning percentage going on. So if you guys have any other questions here, let me know in the comments. And otherwise, let's see. I guess I kind of covered the projects I was working on for the question of the week. So I'll be doing a live playthrough of Red, White, Blue Racing. I don't want to give it an exact date, but I'm going to say probably in July. I'll probably take about a month break or so from that, jump into another project, and then but as I get closer, I'll let you guys know what date that will be, and so you guys can follow along. If anybody hasn't played Red, White, Blue Racing, it's really a fun game. You can check out the reviews that I've done on it, and actually I did do a Under the Hood with that and played out a full race, so you can also check that out, see how the whole flow of the race works. And that's actually a game I still have the original rules in the original box from when it first came out. It's been kind of interesting because with like History Maker Baseball, I think it's up to version 4.0 now of the rules. But Red, White, and Blue Racing played really well right out of the box. I think there was very few confusions with anything going on in the rule book. So definitely an interesting game, and something you don't really have to be a fan at all of stock car racing to really enjoy the Red, White, and Blue Racing game. All right, and I was laughing a minute ago because Bob said that Harry Carey was drunk most of the time when he was doing his calls. So I don't know if that's ever been substantiated, but he definitely was entertaining. So, all right, guys. Well, I don't see any other questions coming up, so I might wrap things up. Again, I want to thank everybody for all your support of the channel. These live shows have been great. It's been a new way for me to connect with fans. You know, and for my my Monday night show. Tomorrow night I'll have the news up. We'll get you caught up on everything that happened over the last week and a half or so. I did get a special Friday news update up. It was just a quick little couple minutes. And there was a couple stories that I just wanted to share, make sure it got out. One more comment here from Mike. Let's see. He's saying that setting up a project, doing the research is something that he enjoys. At some point I said I'll do a historical season playthrough, and I definitely enjoy the history of the game, especially something like baseball that's been around for so many years. It's something that our grandparents watched, something that maybe even our great grandparents watched. And something that's definitely very American and just steeped in tradition. So, all right. Oh, and David's saying he's looking forward to trying the video review manager card. Yeah, that was a good new addition that came with in the last. Yeah, I want to say it was last month's Play.com newsletter. He added a new card to add to your manager's deck if you use those strategy cards. So, all right, guys. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Again, thank you for watching and supporting the show. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night for the news. And until then, get out there, have fun, play games, and I'll see you after further review. Have a good night, guys.